Are we finally putting away our backpacks for good and moving to Turkey? Hang on and I'll let you know how we made that decision. Let's get started. Don't worry, we're not putting away our backpacks. We are still traveling and have videos from Europe and hopefully Southeast Asia, including Malaysia, coming soon. But after 4 years of full-time travel, we'd like to take a break every now and then and also to have a home again. We had heard a lot of great things about Turkey, which by the way is now called Türkiye, and so we decided to come here to check it out for ourselves. And it didn't take long. After just a few months, we realized that this is the right place for us. But no place is perfect, of course, and there are just a few things that concern us that I'll talk about. And at the end of the video, I'll let you know which city in Türkiye we decided to make our home base. So, the first thing we like about Türkiye is safety. We don't feel like crime is a major problem here. Now, I get it, nowhere is perfectly safe, including Türkiye, and like everywhere else in the world, it varies greatly by neighborhood. But yeah, we generally feel safe here, but the safety situation anywhere in the world can change quickly, so it's always good to get the latest information. Let's move on to the cost of living, which has both good and bad features. I'll start with a good one. Türkiye is one of the least expensive countries we have been to. The rent for a decent apartment in a decent neighborhood can be just a few hundred US per month, depending on the city, of course. We quite often go out to eat and get a full meal for just $5 or $6 for the two of us. Transportation within a city is usually never more than $1, usually quite a bit less than $1. And we don't feel like we are sacrificing a good quality of life in order to live cheaply here. That's important. So yeah, the cost of living for us is one of the main reasons we've decided to make a home base here. But like I said, there is a negative side, and that is the economic instability of the country. And the most concerning thing is the inflation rate here. We have seen prices just in the few months that we've been here absolutely skyrocket. And I know inflation is happening everywhere in the world right now, but here it is literally 10 times higher than the world average. Now for us, the exchange rate with the US dollar helps water down this inflation effect, because as the inflation goes up, so does the exchange rate generally, at least for now. But for the people who live here, whose wages don't even come close to keeping up with inflation, it's tough, and it can be a little depressing. Now another good side that we see is that Türkiye seems to be pretty economically self-sufficient, and what I mean by that, they make a lot of their own stuff here instead of importing it. They actually make electronics here, they make clothes here and textiles, and a lot of food comes from here. And I'm not saying that there are no imports at all, but it just seems like they rely less on imports compared to a lot of other countries. And one more thing, there are math equations on the money here. As a former math teacher, I gotta love that. Next is everyone's favorite topic, food. We really like the food here. What more can I say except just get ready to drool. The meat here is focused on durum, which is the chicken or beef that spins around on a pole and gets shaved off for our culinary pleasure. The pastries and desserts here are unbelievable. A lot of it is honey-based. Oh, so good. But it does take a lot of self-control to not overindulge in the food here, and we are not always successful with that, believe me. I don't know how we've made it this long without doubling our body weight. Another thing is that food sanitation is generally good here. We've been to other countries where no matter how careful we try to be, we repeatedly get sick from the food or water. I'm looking at you, Mexico. Now, one downside is that international food is not always easy to find. It's here, it's just difficult to locate sometimes. Moving on to healthcare, this is important to us, but I have to be upfront that we haven't been here long enough to be able to assess the healthcare based on our personal experience. We haven't needed any healthcare so far, but from our research, we think it's pretty good. There is a strong medical tourism industry here, and that's usually a good sign. Okay, next is the country's immigration policies and the process for getting a residence permit, which I'm labeling as a pro, but I hesitate because the process is getting more and more difficult. The rules are changing very frequently right now. We were able to get a residency permit, but Yeah, the process was not a pleasant experience. It was stressful, but it all worked out in the end, and that's what matters. Check the description below for more information about the residency process. Next is transportation between cities within the country, and this is a positive with no hesitation in this category. The buses are frequent, fairly reasonably priced, and generally very comfortable, much more comfortable than flying in our opinion. Some of the bus companies will even come pick you up in your local neighborhood for free to take you to the main bus station to catch your bus. And the buses have servers who come to give you food and drinks during the trip for free, believe it or not. Not like flying where you have to pay like $100 for a cup of water nowadays. Next on the list is the ability for us to learn the language. We are finding it challenging, to say the least. And we are indeed learning, but the process of learning is taking a lot longer than we hoped. One thing that we had trouble adapting to at first was the amount of cigarette smoking here. We've started to get a little used to it, but really it's just something to be aware of. Let me talk about the internet here. We are averaging around 30 megabits per second download, sometimes slower, which, although not the fastest internet in the world, for us, it's plenty fast enough. As far as reliability goes, well, it's okay. We've had a few outages, but hey, it's not the end of the world. The next thing we like is the way the street animals are taken care of. A lot of the animals are tagged, neutered, and inoculated by animal welfare groups. There are cats everywhere here, and there is no shortage of people feeding them. The people are nice to the cats, and the cats are generally nice back to us in return, so it's a win-win situation, I guess. Okay, I saved the best for last, the people here. The Turkish people have a well-deserved reputation for being very hospitable to strangers like us. We have seen so many smiles, we have seen so much friendliness, we have seen so much patience and putting up with us, even though we can't speak the language. Turkish hospitality is real, it is genuine, and it is very much appreciated. Thank you, and teşekkürler. So that's our list of pros and cons, and the cons really are quite minor, to be honest. The pros completely dominate our feelings about the country. But which city have we chosen here? Well, we narrowed it down to our top 4. I'll quickly tell you a little about each one, but we have individual videos about each of these places, by the way. The first place we considered was Antalya, and the top features of Antalya were the beautiful outdoor spaces, the sunny weather, and the size of the city, not too big and not too small. The main downside about Antalya, for us, is that it is very touristy and doesn't always feel like authentic Türkiye. The next city we considered was Istanbul. A few of the things that we liked most about Istanbul is the huge number of activities available. It's not as hot in the summer compared to other cities we've considered, and the access to a lot of flights to other parts of the world is a huge plus. The main drawback to Istanbul is that it has the highest cost of living of our top 4 cities. Then there is Fethiye, with its best feature by far, the beaches, especially the Blue Lagoon, which is absolutely stunning. We also like Fethiye's laid-back and relaxed atmosphere, and English is more widely spoken here, making communication easier. But Fethiye has a relatively large expat population, and we don't want to get sucked into living in an expat bubble. And then we have Izmir, with its fantastic waterfront, its excellent public transportation system, and it's got a very young vibe with its population of university students. One drawback to Izmir is the hot summer temperatures during the day. I'm talking HOT, hot, although the evenings are pleasant. So which one have we chosen for our home base? Is it going to be Antalya? Is it Istanbul? Is it Fethiye? Or is it Izmir? The city we have chosen is Izmir. We feel like Izmir checks so many of those boxes of the things that we are looking for in a city. We are excited to start our new life here, and we plan to make some videos about what everyday life is like here for us. But as I said, we are not done traveling, and we plan to focus on putting out videos about our future adventures all over the world. So hit that subscribe button you see there so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Thanks for traveling with us.